Hey, welcome. Feeling totally at ease in an English-speaking restaurant, it can be a little tricky, right? But what if you could handle everything, from booking a table all the way to paying the bill without any of that awkwardness? Well, that is exactly what we're going to tackle today. Oh, yeah, we have all been there. You're staring at the menu, you see the server walking over, and poof, your mind just goes totally blank. That feeling of not knowing the perfect phrase you need? Ugh, it can be so stressful. But hey, that's what we're here to fix. In this explainer, we're going to arm you with the must-know phrases, the absolute essentials, so you can walk into any dining situation feeling cool, calm, and collected. Okay, so our journey actually begins before we even step foot inside the restaurant. First step, booking that table and making sure you've got a spot.
Let's talk about the reservation. Booking your table in advance. This is absolutely crucial for those more formal or, fancy restaurants. You can't always just walk in and expect them to have a free table.
So you've decided to call ahead. Great. But what's the best way to ask? You want to sound polite, you want to sound natural, not like you're reading straight from a textbook, right? Okay, this is the golden phrase right here. Do you have any availability at, and then just pop in your time. It is the most polite, professional way to ask if they have any tables free. It just works perfectly, every time. Now, it is really important to know the difference between formal and casual dining. For those fancier spots, yeah, reservations are key. But at a lot of casual US restaurants, walk-ins are super common. This usually means you'll get put on a wait list because you can't always book ahead. And this is exactly how you get on that wait list. See, instead of just demanding, put me down for 4, we soften it by turning it into a question. Could you put me down for 4? It's such a classic English politeness trick, just framing a statement as a request.
All right, so you've made it. You're at the restaurant. As you walk in, the very first person you'll probably meet is the host or hostess, right there at the front stand.
Okay, here are your go-to lines. If you have a reservation, it's simple. I have a reservation under, and then just say the name. No reservation? A simple, hi, we'd like a table for 2, please, is perfect. And hey, if the place is totally packed, a quick, how long's the wait? Will tell you everything you need to know. Okay, let's talk about a situation that can feel a little awkward. They lead you to a table, but it's right by the noisy kitchen, or maybe a super drafty door. You want to move, but how do you ask without making a big deal out of it? This phrase right here is your secret weapon. Is there any way? It is an incredibly polite and way less forceful way to make a request in English. It kind of acknowledges that it might not be possible, which honestly makes the staff much more willing to help you out. All right, you're seated, you're comfortable. Now for the main event, ordering your food. Let's make sure you sound like you do this every single day. So, if you're having more than one course, the key phrase you'll want to use is, I'll start with. This tells the server that you're ordering an appetizer first, and your main dish is coming next. For example, I'll start with the soup, and then for my main dish, I'll have the pasta. Ordering something that has options, like a steak, it follows a really simple 3-step process. First, just state the cut you want. I'll have the ribeye. Then you specify how you'd like it cooked. Rare, medium, or well done are the basics. And finally, you choose your side, with the French fries. Easy as that. And hey, don't be shy about customizing your order. It is incredibly common in the US. Can you hold the, just means you want an ingredient left out. Asking for something on the side is also super frequent. And if you want to swap one side for another, just ask if you can substitute it. Totally normal. Oh, and a quick cultural note for you, keep an eye out for something called happy hour. This is usually in the late afternoon, maybe between 3 and 6 p.m., where restaurants offer big discounts on drinks and appetizers. It's a really common social thing to do with coworkers after a long day at work. Okay, so your food has arrived. Looks delicious. But what happens if there's an issue, or you just need to get your server's attention for something? So here's the deal. The most important thing is to be non-confrontational. If they brought you the wrong dish, instead of saying, this is wrong, a much better way to go is, I think there's been a mistake. It's just softer, and trust me, it leads to a much better outcome, especially since servers in the US really rely on tips. And how do you even get them to come over in the first place? Well, in the US, it's actually considered kind of rude to shout, hey, or wave your arms around like crazy. The accepted way to do it is to just try and make eye contact and then give a small, subtle wave or even just a little head nod. And here is another one of those golden phrases. Starting your sentence with, when you get a chance. It just shows that you respect their time and you get that they're busy. It turns a simple request into a really polite and considerate one. The meal was a huge success, and you're ready to wrap things up. So let's cover the final steps: paying that bill and dealing with any leftovers.
Okay, listen up, because this is a big point of confusion for a lot of people. Splitting the bill means you take the total amount and just divide it evenly among everyone. But separate checks means each person gets a bill for exactly what they ordered. And here's a pro tip. If you want separate checks, it makes life so much easier for everyone if you just ask right at the beginning of the meal. And finally, taking food home. Totally normal, happens all the time. At a casual place, you can just ask, could we get a box? But at a fancier restaurant, it's a little more common to ask the server to handle it for you. You'd say something like, could you box this up for us, please?
So there you have it. We've covered everything from booking the table to boxing up your leftovers. You are now officially equipped with the language you need to go out and dine with total confidence. The only question left is, which of these new phrases are you most excited to try out next time you're at a restaurant?